name is Iordanis Triantafyllou, and today I'm doing an STI check. It is very important that you get yourself tested and regularly tested. Since Naming Your Name is no longer doing the walk-in clinic on Mondays, it was doing it for 2 years. Now you need to either go to Luton, Welwyn Garden City, Stevenage, whatever, wherever, or you can just order it online. Now, as you can see laid out on the table in front of me, there is quite a number of items and I'll be walking through each one with you. So, I ordered a specific HIV test and also a generic STI test. So, this is the blood test for HIV. These blue things are I think they're called lancets. You open them, twist them, and that's what pricks your finger to make you bleed. And it's not a tremendous amount of blood, and it goes in this protected case and you send it off they send you prepaid envelopes and you just send it off and they text you with your results. This is the throat swab for gonorrhea and chlamydia, and everything has the instructions on it. This is the urine sample. Obviously you need to fill it to the line and you want to get the first amount of your urine. This is the rectal swab for chlamydia and gonorrhea. Obviously we all know where that goes. And basically I just feel like regardless of your gender, regardless of your sexuality, it doesn't hurt to do the test everywhere because you never know what might happen. Now, let's start off with the oral swab. All the swabs are labelled because you do not want to get the oral swab mixed up with the rectal swab and vice versa. So, I've already washed and dried my hands. Twist and pull the swab out of the sample tube, swab around the back of your throat. You may cough or gag a little. Say ah. As you can see, I do not have a gag reflex anymore. The HIV one goes in the yellow one and the other ones go in the orange one. They're all labelled with the QR code. Oral swab, tick. As I said, I'm not going to do the urine sample or rectal swab in front of you. I think there's a number of answers to that. So a lot of people still face not necessarily stigma, but a lot of embarrassment, oh, I can't go into a clinic to go and get tested because, that makes it real. Are they going to judge me? No, they're not going to judge you, they're professionals. But, even with this, you don't need to see anybody or talk to anybody. But when you send off, they send you a confirmation code to your phone number. So they have somebody at the end of the phone who can talk to you if you have any questions or concerns or queries. And honestly, you do not need a degree in English literature to be able to follow the very simple step. Now, the blood test. And I do confess, I'm a little nervous. It's been a long time since I did this. It's so much easier when they're just doing but if you can take a dip, you can take a little prick. So yes, that's the cut. And then I was always told to wipe off the first bit and then fill up the line up to 600. So let's turn it to 600 so I can see it.
Few moments later.
So a few more drops and we're at 600, and then it goes into this protective sleeve. There we are, good. And this goes in the yellow. This is the second HIV test because they sent two, so I might as well do two. Wouldn't it be horrific if one was positive and one was not?
Yeah, how would that work out?
What it would be a dramatic case of clinical negligence. So, first prick, wipe away the first drop, and then let nature take its course and gravity do the rest while it gets to 600. So this is actually easier if you do have a bit of a needle fear, but honestly, I have no issue being tattooed. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of my 17 on show. But for some reason, whenever I used to do it the old-fashioned way, when I would get the needle in my arm, they say, you feel a little prick, which again is how you got here in the first place. But you know what, quite frankly, the fear of needles is not an excuse to not get tested. Some people I have been familiar with in the past have said they get tested after every time that they have sex with a new person. That might be a little excessive, but you know what? Let's try not to waste NHS resources, but you do you, it's free after all. Every 3 months, 6 months is good. people who have sex with people who have a penis, because of course not everyone who has a penis is a man. But basically, option 1, abstinence, don't do it, and where's the fun in that? Or option 2, use a condom. Or if you're a woman, I don't know, what do women do? Like the cap, the coil, the implant?
Pill. Mostly
Oh, the pill.
to, about pregnancies,
Yes.
not necessarily STIs.
Agreed, and just because condoms can prevent pregnancy, there's no risk though that they will prevent against everything. Right, one more drop and then we're around 600, which is good. So yes, with this, once again in the protective tube. And this one is in the, that's in the yellow, so this is in the orange bag with the oral swabbing that we've already done. They do ask you to send this test back as well. So you get sent a text message when they receive your samples, and then you get another text message when you get your results. As I understand it, so I'm from South Kensington, but I spent a number of years in Sheffield. The way they was run in Sheffield, it kind of differed from place to place. I remember one time where if you don't hear anything from us, that means there's nothing to hear about or clear. But then that means you don't have a text message or anything. Just if you don't hear anything, no news is good news, as they say. Honestly, for me personally, a wise man once said, if you have no shame, do what you will. And as God is my witness, I have not been brought up to be embarrassed or ashamed or mortified. Some people have, some people haven't. I haven't. So for me personally, I never had any issue going to a clinic. For me personally, I do like speaking to a human, because I wouldn't want to sound, like a whore, but I have lived, and I have been to the clinic on a number of occasions, for good and bad reasons, and you can and you should have a bit of banter or a bit of a rapport with your clinician, whether it's a nurse or a doctor, and you know what, it can be funny. You can have a good laugh with them. Thank you for joining me today, and if you have any questions or you want to hit me up or call me a whore or judge me or thank me, all my handles for Instagram and Twitter are IKT Law Student, because funnily enough, I'm a law student.